friends. Hope we are all well. So I'm hoping this is going to be better than last week's vlog. I'm literally filming this, so I'm just trying to steady the camera. Literally filming this the day before you see it. So as you know from a couple of videos ago, I mentioned I was having my eyebrows done because they are a little bit pale, they're a bit thin, not through over plucking. I just have thin straight eyebrows. I've kind of always liked that look, but now as I'm 40 plus, they're kind of going in certain areas, they're starting to come through with white hairs, which I don't have a problem with, but if I pull the white hairs out when I'm plucking just to keep the brow in whatever nondescript colour this grows in, it leaves me with gaps because the white hairs for some reason are a bit thicker. I don't know if anyone else has found that. I don't even know if anyone else grows white eyebrow hairs. I've never really looked that closely. So I am off today to Liquor and Ink. I'm going back to where I saw Kat in my last video, but we're going to see the wonderful Hannah, who is their piercer, and she also does HD brows. Now I'm oh, excuse the postie who's just decided to walk across the private property. Sorry. What was I going to say? What was he? He's put me off. He flashes through in bright orange and he puts me off. Yeah, I'm under the impression it's pretty much microblading, and if looked after, it should last me 3 years, which I'm really excited about. So Hannah charges, oh, I'm not sure what she charges. I think her prices are going up as of the 1st of June. But at the moment my appointment is 250, that's pounds, obviously being in the UK. I have only had to pay a £20 deposit and I've got the rest of the money ready today to transfer over. So yeah, I'm quite excited, but I'm also very, very nervous because I've never had this done. I don't know what to expect. I've watched videos, I've seen, if any of you watch Luxaria on YouTube, I've seen the horror stories, but I've seen Hannah's work and I've been following her for a while since she's been doing this, and I've been following other beauty people who do it, and for some reason I am just far more comfortable going to a tattoo place that has a professional body piercer that does it, who is used to handling needles, as opposed to somebody who paints nails and also does microblading. You know, no offence if that is what you do for a living. I just personally have more faith in somebody who's handling needles every single day and works in a professional tattoo parlour. Did I even say parlour anymore? I think I said that last week. Than a beauty shop. Plus, I know the environment. I know it's clean. I know it's sterile. I know that everybody in the building works in the same way. I know their COVID protocols. And I know their products, whereas if I was to go to a beauty parlour, I'm very nervous around what chemicals they use, things for like facials and chemical peels. Is it all done, you know, that kind of thing kind of makes me a bit nervous. So yes, I need to get my arse in gear and go and see Hannah. My appointment is in just over 2 hours and I need to get there because it's like 69 mile away, something like that. So I'm going to bang on some tunes in the car and yeah, I will catch you when I'm up there. See you in a bit. So I'm just adding in little bits as we go. The next voice you're going to hear is Hannah's. I didn't video inside going in because obviously we've done this before and it was only in last week's video and it's the same place. So by the next point you see, Hannah is already starting the process of marking up, and she very kindly talked through the process of what was going on. So I hope you enjoy.
Right now I'm just making some really basic markings, marking up where we should be according to the book. After that, after it's all marked up, we're going to have an in-depth look, the two of us, and decide if that is the shape that we want to go for. Obviously I'm just following your natural brow line and the brow that you've got there already. Trying to make it symmetrical but not too symmetrical, because everybody's face is slightly unsymmetrical. If they were super symmetrical, it'd look really bizarre.
Yeah, I don't want to look like a Barbie doll.
No, they're sisters, not twins. That's what we say. So we're still trying to make them look very, very natural. But yeah, that's it at the moment. And then after we've marked them all up, then we will have another in-depth look.
I feel like a human etch-a-sketch.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? So at the moment we've just done one pass over, and this is where we've just been putting the anaesthetic on. But so I've just made myself some little markings so I can see what I'm doing. You don't know if you can really tell because they're very, very small, but if I move the hairs this way, you can see there are some that kind of remain behind. That's the microblading, so you can see it more prominently in the top of the archway, especially here. But that's the start of it, so that's what we're going to build on basically. So that's almost like a stencil for myself. You can see here the start, and don't know how well you're going to be able to tell on camera, but that's the start of it. That's what we're going to build on. Okay, so we're in the final stages at the moment. So we've made lots of little, almost little cuts, which is what makes it look like individual hair strokes. And then what we're going to do now is scrub the pigment into them, because there will be tiny, tiny, tiny ones where maybe we've made the incision, we've put the pigment in, but when we've been wiping, the pigment's come out. So all we're going to do is just almost pull it apart a little bit and make sure the pigment's nice and in there. So we do that now, and then that will mean that I can see every tiny, tiny, tiny little hair that we've made. And then afterwards, if I see any little gaps or anything like that, we add that in. And then that should be it after that.
Hi. So, whew, that was a bit much. So yeah, we've talked about aftercare, we've talked about the roller coaster of how they will heal. So I've been told they are very different to a tattoo healing. So with tattooing, obviously you're told to moisturize them and keep the skin quite supple. With these, you are told to basically leave them alone and keep them as dry as possible. So it's what they term dry healing. No moisturizers, no, be very careful even when you're in the shower that you're not scrubbing your face, no foam washes on them, no nothing. Leave them alone. So that's going to be good because I could do with something that doesn't need a lot of care at the moment. So they're looking really good. They are very red. I've literally just walked out. The studio's just behind me. So yeah, they are looking very red at the moment. They're quite swollen. So yeah, this is not going to be a very long video today, and I'm really sorry about that. But I made up for it last week. Anyway, so yeah, we did the colour bath afterwards. So she's done 4 sections. It was an experience, I'll give it that. It was, I don't know what I was expecting. It's not a painful experience, but it's not particularly pleasant. And the main reason for that is the noise. Now, when I got tattooed, at the same time with the Griffin, I had a small tattoo done behind my ear. We went across the hairline. Now, if you've ever been tattooed across a hairline, it sounds like scraping across sandpaper. Now, that's what it sounded like with my eyebrows. So she explains that the, although it's a needle, it's called microblading for a reason. So it's a tiny little thing, a little pen with like an end, and it's a curved set of straight needles, very, very fine needles. So as you move across the skin, obviously they bend a little bit as they move, and it's that, sorry, that's just ink off my ink from earlier. That's the sound of the needles bending and contracting and moving basically. So because you're what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's on your face, you can hear it because it's quite close to your ears. It's very, very weird. Anyway, pain level, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. It's no worse than having a tattoo done. But what they do is they do a very quick process. Once we'd done all the marking up, she did a very quick process of making little cuts, just to mark, because as soon as she wipes across, she loses all her guidelines, basically. So all the markings that you saw on my face to begin with had disappeared, and she'd had to put her own guidelines in. So those guidelines are done with no anaesthetic. They're just done straight into the skin. And no, they're not pleasant. They're not pleasant at all. They're not unbearable, but they're not great. So then she put in a layer of lidocaine, and then after a couple of minutes we went back and did it again. So in the space of an hour and 3/4, which was the length of my whole appointment, we have done 4 passes on each brow, and she has done a layer of lidocaine in between. So by the last time, there were still areas that were still a bit ouchy, but there were areas that I didn't really notice that she was doing. Plus we were chatting as well, so that kind of helped with what was going on. Worst part, lying on my back and being unable to breathe. Excuse me, sorry about that, I had to sneeze and I wasn't getting it on camera. Yeah, so the worst part for me was lying on my back for so long, because like I said, I have damaged my back and I don't do well lying on a flat surface. There was no pillow, so I didn't have my head up, and I did feel like I was getting really bunged up, like when you've got a cold. So there were a couple of times I said to her, like, I'm going to have to sit up because I can't breathe. I could breathe out my mouth, but with my mask on, it's not great. And she was really good about it. Once she'd done the 4 passes, we then did what she called the colour bath, which I pretty much think I vlogged that bit, which is where she puts the colour wash over it and leaves it for about 30 seconds to a minute, just to really let the colour absorb into the skin a bit more, and then she takes it off. And that's it done. We did have to do a couple of areas whilst I was sat up, just because here, which is called the bulb, wasn't quite level, so she just wanted to level it up a little bit. And yeah, it's been great. So I've got to come back in 9 weeks. It was meant to be 6 to 8 weeks, so they say it's 6 to 8 weeks for healing, but I'm going to have to come back in 9 weeks because my calendar will not let me come back before then. But she has warned me it will be a roller coaster, so I know what to expect, so I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to leave them alone and let them do their thing. What she has said is when you get a tattoo, obviously it all goes into the same layer of the skin, the third layer of the epidermis, is that what it's called? And it sits there, and then you lose the dead skin on top, blah, 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 and that's the peeling process. So when you get your eyebrows done, she said what happens is you put the cuts into the skin, the ink goes in, and then it settles. Now, as it heals, she said it may look as if tomorrow morning that I've done them in really black. And as you can see, she hasn't. She's done them in dark brown, but they're not black. She said tomorrow morning they may look black because the pigment will be quite vibrant. She said within a couple of weeks, it may look like they have disappeared altogether because the ink sinks back into the skin. The skin is doing its own thing. It's healing underneath. And then, pow, they will come back up again. So, yes, you may see me looking as if I've not had my eyebrows done. In a few weeks' time, in a couple of videos, depending on where I am with my filming. But I will do a full update after my next appointment. Now, like I said, they cost me £250, which I don't think is that bad. I think she's done an amazing job. They look so natural. And then I think it's the 9th of July, 17th of July, I'm back, and we are going to look at any areas where the pigment hasn't come back up, look at any areas that she's missed, because obviously it's quite red and swollen. She might have missed a little bit. Seeing what areas need to be darkened, see if I want them thickened. At the moment, I don't think I do. I quite like them as they are, but that may change over the course of the next few weeks. So yeah, we're going to top them up on the 17th, and then it's the same 6 to 8 weeks later for the bits that they've topped up. But she said that process normally takes half an hour to an hour, depending on what needs doing and the healing. Although it's the same, it won't look the same because the rest of the brow will still be there. So yeah, really excited to get it, see how it heals. I'm going to do a video probably just before I get them topped up to see how they've healed, what I've thought about it. I'm going to mark in my diary at what points anything happens, just in case. But yeah, it's been a lovely experience. Hannah is amazing. Anyone who wants them done, I would recommend finding someone who does natural brow. So I did ask her, sorry if I still sound a bit snuffly, I did ask her about the HD brow thing, and she said it's literally the way she was trained. So she's trained with somebody who has dealt with or deals with people who have lost hair through alopecia or cancer. So they have nothing to work with. So she does very, very natural brows, rather than the Instagram brows that look like they've been tattooed on and then beaten with an inch of their life and then stuck a slug on top. Anyway, so yeah, she said she's the way she's done things is that she's done them into a natural order. We were also talking about other things because obviously she is a body piercer as well. So we were talking about any other treatments she's thinking of having available or anything. And she said, actually, I'd rather be really good and really professional and really an expert in one thing than offer lots and lots and lots of different treatments and be kind of mediocre at them all. So brows is her thing, and I think if I can kind of zoom in a little bit, I think she's done a great job. We know that there's a little bit here that is missed. It isn't missed, but it'll look like it is because it went over scarring. And the same, I've got a little patch here that went over scarring. Anyone who's ever had chicken pox will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's been, they look good. They look a bit pink and red at the moment, and I'm not going to touch them. I'm just playing with my hair. But yeah, I'm really pleased with them. I feel young. I feel like I've actually got eyebrows, whereas before I didn't. So when I get home, I'm going to head home now. It's going to take me a couple of hours to get back. I'm hoping the redness will have gone down. But I will take a picture and compare it to kind of before and after picture for you to have a look at. But I'm going to leave it there for today. Sorry it's only a short one. I just, you know, life's caught up and I haven't been able to do a decent video. I need to do some more filming, but I'm not going to be able to do that until tomorrow at the earliest. So makeup wise, I'm not going to be able to wear makeup for a few days, so don't expect full face of makeup on a few of my videos going forward. Obviously I don't want to interfere with this or anything in its healing. But yeah, I'm going to do a bit more filming either this weekend or next weekend, or at some point. Obviously I've got to get next weekend's video out. I've also got a collab coming up. That will be coming out on the 2nd of June. So it's a couple of weeks away, but that will be coming out. I'm filming that one over the bank holiday. And yeah, so I don't know what next week's video is going to be. I might be doing one on, I'm going back to the fashion accessories, I think, next week. But we'll see. I'll see what I'm in the mood for when I get home. If I want to film today or tomorrow or during the week. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, pop them down in the chat box. I will ask Hannah if I don't know the answer. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I'm really pleased with them. I think they look good. I'm impressed. So yeah, we'll see how things go, and I will do an update on them. You'll probably be able to see them as over the weeks as they're healing anyway. But I will do an update on them before I come back and have my top-up appointment, and then I'll give you a full update 8 weeks after that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I need to go home, I need to eat, and I will see you all soon. But until then, as always, you know what to do. Just do you. So I just want to insert this bit really quickly at the end. I just want to give a massive shout out to Hannah. I will give all her details below. She has been amazing. She's done that voiceover that you can hear. That's all Hannah explaining what's going on. So Hannah, thank you. Thank you for letting me film. Thank you for the running commentary. And thank you for putting me at ease during my appointment. You're amazing. If any of you want to book with her, She's, yeah, she thinks she's still got some gaps this year. Like I said, I think her prices are going up. But yeah, I'll link her down below. But thank you, Hannah. You've been a star. Mwah.